they're not wearing spacesuits, and I'll explain why. Jeff Bezos says basically, meh, no need. So that story's coming up. But right now, let's go ahead and take a look at your drive. And Nick, what's up on the 5?
It's a slow going drive this morning out of the Norwalk area from as far back as Imperial, or Norwalk Boulevard actually. Let's back up to Norwalk Boulevard, northbound side of the 5, heading toward Rosemead Boulevard, and the southbound side of the 5, near Lakewood Boulevard. It looks like you've got a small brush fire off the right shoulder. Actually, got problems for it. In fact, 3 left lanes are open. Looks like the 2 right lanes have been shut down to deal with that. Wall that's fully engulfed. Okay, sounds interesting. Southbound side of the 5 being attacked in Factory as well. Coming right from Swanson to make back to the 605. So definitely the 5 north and southbound. Not the business for you drive first thing, Downey and Norwalk area. Northbound side of the 57, seeing some delays for you. Getting out of Brea before Landmark, you can make it into the Brea Canyon. It was 2 lanes shut down overnight for town transport from Pathfinder to the 60. Looks like that's running until about 6 this morning, so that's why you're seeing delays. KFI, this guy helps get to their faster. I'm Nick O'Keefe.
And now it's your chance to win $1,000.
KFI has your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword PAY, P-A-Y, to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's PAY to 200-200.
And if you're the winner, you're going to get a call from a number you don't recognize. Don't forget that you still have to answer that phone to make sure that you win the money. Otherwise, they move on to somebody who will. Your next chance to win comes at 7:20 during Handle on the News. But just to give you a heads up, they are stepping into the Blue Origin capsule right now. So we just saw Jeff Bezos, his brother Mark. We saw Wally Funk get in, and now you have the 18-year-old stepping in, Oliver Damon. And they're all getting ready now. 29 minutes from now, they will do their launch. Blue Origin about to take off. All right, coming up, we'll talk about your money and more here on your wake-up call.
It's okay if you're wondering how the COVID-19 vaccine got here so fast. It was record time, after all. And when you're ready, here's your answer. No steps were skipped. No shortcuts were taken. Years of research and determination paid off. Let's get you there. Let's get to immunity. Learn more at vaccinateall58.com or call 833-422-4255. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
There are no limits to what we can do together. So let's keep rising, California. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Your actions save lives. To learn more, visit covid19.ca.gov.
As life returns to normal, our worries have not disappeared, but evolved. CalHope offers free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 1-833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
All right, I'm sure on board the Blue Origin space shuttle that there's something on there that's water-like, but I bet the richest man in the world isn't going up with a Life Source whole house water system. Failure already, Jeff Bezos. Listen, instead of those plastic water bottles, how about just filling your favorite glass of water with filtered water that's coming out of any tap in your house? That's what you would be able to do if you had a Life Source whole house water system. Plus, on top of this, you kind of get to take the lazy way out. No maintenance, no filters to replace, no tanks to exchange. Plus, you're not going to have to go to the store in the middle of 100-degree weather and lug around those big cases of bottled water. And Life Source is going to reduce the odor and taste of chlorine without using salt or chemicals. Plus, you're going to be bathing in filtered water, so your skin and your hair are going to thank you as well. And if you're like me, anything that you can do to keep from drying out right now is good. So have Life Source create a customized water solution for your home direct with the factory that has served Southern California for over 37 years. And everything is made in the USA with installation and support for the life of your system. And hey, if you're looking for a great career opportunity, Life Source is looking for you. So call Life Source today and get full service and full confidence in your water. Call them at 1-800-334-5009. That's 1-800-334-5009. Or just visit lifesourcewater.com. Life Source Water. Taste and feel the difference.
Need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only, with over 53 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and for a limited time, 0% deferred interest financing up to 24 months for a water heater replacement. Visit waterheatersonly.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Let me be straight with you. This is a radio commercial for 3 small business insurance. The policy has no fine print. It's clear what's covered. So while you can't see the following scene, just know that this pet store is protected by 3.
Joe, did you leave the snake tank open?
Look, I don't want to point fingers, but yes.
I'm calling my lawyer.
They're going to need some help with this mess. Luckily, they have 3. No fine print, just exceptional coverage. 3 is a product of Berkshire Hathaway Direct Insurance Company. 3. No nonsense, just common sense.
Open the door to unlimited possibilities when you enroll at a California community college. Whether you want to transfer to a 4-year university or earn an associate degree, you'll find the support to help make it all happen. Classes can fill up quickly, so enroll today at ICanGoToCollege.com.
Unclog your drain for only $77 with Rooter Hero.
Live and local.
Kfi Am 640.
An iHeart radio station.
T-minus 24 minutes and 42 seconds for the launch of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket into space. Aboard with him, of course, his brother Mark. You have the oldest person going into space, Wally Funk, 82 years old. And the youngest person headed into space today, Oliver Damon. He's 18. So good luck to them, and we will be watching this launch as it goes up. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Oh, this is going up, but yesterday we had a big going down. Caleb Silver, welcome back to Wake Up Call. He's editor-in-chief of Investopedia.com. That was ugly yesterday, looking at the Dow.
Absolutely. We haven't seen a drop like that since October, and it brought back all those kind of fears we had last fall when we weren't sure what was going to happen to our economy, weren't sure when we were going to get out of the pandemic. We had that kind of a drop yesterday. It brought that back. But we're having a little bounce this morning. We're due, though. Look, the stock market hasn't corrected 5% or more since October. That's 9 months. Usually that happens about 3 times a year. In a normal year, we just got used to riding on that gravy train.
You know, I feel like investors aren't listening to the president or the Fed Chair Janet Yellen, because even though they have they're saying, hey, don't worry about inflation, it still seems like those jitters are there, COVID aside.
Yeah, those have been there, and Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, the Fed Chair Jerome Powell, all saying that inflation is transient, meaning it's only going to be here for a period of time because we have this surge of demand, and we also have these supply chain traffic jams all over the world where we're trying to unload containers. You can't even rent the container, so you have all those things coming together. That said, when investors look for where they're going to find yield, where they're going to find returns on their money, the stock market's the only game in town, right? The bond market, the U.S. bond market, the U.S. Treasury yield is only 1.18%. That's where investors run for safety when stocks get a little scary. The yield there is nothing. You're getting more at your bank than you are in the U.S. Treasuries, and the bank is only giving you about 1.8% too. So water's like money. It needs a place to go. Investors need to keep putting it into stocks, and as soon as this dip passes, you'll see them buy back into it.
Okay, so what though so let's bring COVID back into it. What do we need to do? And every time that we see a variant spike, because let's just assume that the Delta variant isn't going to be the only one that comes out that's contagious. I mean, that's what viruses do. They mutate and they change and that sort of thing, and you have to sort of play whack-a-mole with them. Is this what we're in for when it comes to COVID? We're going to see this roller coaster ride every time something changes?
Yeah, but I think as you see, we're getting better and better at handling it. We can identify it faster. We know how to isolate. We know how to do partial shutdowns if we have to. The economy, that's the hope, is that we're learning as we go, so we don't have to do this full stop, shut the economy down, shut down schools, close restaurants and airports. Hopefully we won't have to do that. And I think so far, I mean, this is early days, but we're seeing that we can get around that. We are seeing mask mandates come back in places like Los Angeles, right? In some areas, in some places around the world, travel restrictions are starting to be put into place, but we haven't seen that full sense that we'll have to just shut the switch completely. So knowing how to deal with it helps us out a lot. Also, all the other economic measures are in really good shape right now, except for the labor market, which should improve by September. So you see that, and the fact that the only place to really get returns on your money is still the stock market. I expect investors to keep buying stocks as soon as they get over these fears, but you're right. We're going to have to deal with this probably for the next 2 or 3 years or the decade.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, speaking of travel, airlines seem to be one of the stocks that got hit the hardest yesterday. And this is a stock that I've kind of been watching because you've seen the cruise industry stocks going back up. Airlines, they're packed. I mean, you can barely get on a plane right now because everybody wants to fly. But then it seemed like the minute there was a fear of COVID again, everybody got cold feet.
Right, as you know, we have animal spirits that rule us when we invest. We overreact when things get scary. We sell too much, like so many people did back in March and February of last year. I get the fear, but we also overreact to the upside. The stock market's up 100% since those lows of March 24, 2020. So we're ruled by these spirits, and we always go too far. So when there's fear that we're going to have some sort of shutdown, investors look at the most vulnerable parts of the market, and that is airlines, that is cruise lines, that is transportation in general, and that's what got hit the hardest yesterday. But there's also the sense that, we do have inflation. We haven't had a sell-off in a while. The stock market usually corrects a few times a year, or at least drops 5% a few times a year. That hasn't happened. So investors probably pulled some money out yesterday. They'll come back in when they feel like the coast is a little bit more clear here.
All right. Sounds good, Caleb. Thank you as always. You always explain it in terms that I can understand, which I need.
My pleasure.
See you later. Talk to you again soon.
Bye-bye. Bye.
That's Caleb Silver. He is editor-in-chief of Investopedia.com. So the moral of the story is just don't look at your 401k today. It's that simple. Why am I this guy who, when the stock market goes down that much, I'm like a glutton for punishment. Ooh, let's see what my 401k looks like. Let's see how bad it got hit today. Granted, I must be resting on my laurels thinking, it's going to be good, it's going to bounce back, I'm going to be fine. And 9 times out of 10, like Caleb said, it's fine. Everything goes back to normal. But, it's like what am I? I'm just weird. Let's just get back to, I'm just weird. Who looks at their 401k knowing it's going to be bad? Sorry, I'm your host of Wake Up Call. Let's get back to some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A new poll shows more than half of Americans who have not been vaccinated against COVID-19 think vaccines have microchips in them. The latest Economist YouGov poll shows 51% of people surveyed who have not been vaccinated believe that is true. 6 people have been hurt in a house explosion in Texas. Fire Captain Peggy Harrell says 3 of the people hurt in yesterday's explosion were kids.
We are just trying to figure out what happened, get the cause of the situation, and make sure the scene is safe for everybody that's close by.
Authorities are investigating. They also say the home where the explosion happened was completely destroyed, and several other homes in the area were also damaged. Well, a Japanese composer hired for the Tokyo Olympics opening ceremony has quit because of comments he made about abusing disabled classmates when he was in school. Reports from the 1990s had resurfaced on social media last week that showed Kiko Oyamada bragging about hurting and embarrassing the students. Olympics organizers had originally said that Oyamada would be allowed to stay in his role because he had apologized. Well, maybe the pressure just got to be a little too much. Well, the 3 cover girls for this year's Sports Illustrated Swimsuit edition have all made history in their own way. Megan Thee Stallion has become the magazine's first rapper to get the cover. Tennis champion Naomi Osaka is the first black female athlete to be a cover girl for the swimsuit issue. And model Elena Bloom is the first openly transgender woman to be on the cover. And model Yumi Nu has also made history by becoming the first curvy Asian American model in the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit edition. I saw some of the early pics. They're all gorgeous. Just gorgeous, period. I don't, whatever their talent is or whatever their race is or whatever, they're all just beautiful women, period. All right, when we come back, I want to talk more about Jeff Bezos and his crew and this Blue Origin rocket headed for space today. I'll give you some of the particulars of the flight. It's supposed to take off in T-minus 16 minutes, 23 seconds. And why are they not wearing the spacesuits that you expect astronauts to wear? Jeff Bezos said, nah, don't really need them. I'll explain. Right now, let's take a look at your drive, and it looks like we're checking out, a fire on the 5.
Definitely the case in Downey on the southbound side past Lakewood Boulevard. It's the 2 right lanes that are shut down. Now, this is a strange one, or not too strange, but anyway. It looks like on the other side of the sound wall from the 5, there is a fire that has engulfed that little hillside. And so that is now, has the 2 right lanes shut down on the 5 southbound past Lakewood Boulevard. Your drive is a mess on the 5 southbound as you come away from almost as far back as Washington. And the northbound side of the 5 is going to be heavy from before Norwalk Boulevard. So you may want to plan for the 710 and the 105. Those 2 together will save you some time, take you a little bit out of the way, but we'll save you a bit of time this morning rather than sticking with the delays on the 5. Or you can plan for possibly Telegraph, which parallels the 5. That'll save you a bit. Also Firestone and Washington a little further away from the freeway, but it'll save you a little bit of time as well. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Poliokini.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report limitations apply.
The Bucks are one win away from their first championship since 1971. They have a chance to win the NBA Finals tonight at home against the Suns in Game 6. The Dodgers lost their series opener against the Giants last night, but look to bounce back against them tonight at 7 p.m. And Dodgers second baseman Gavin Lux was placed on the 10-day injured list with a strained left hamstring. I'm Missy Jordan.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Hey, have you heard all these great home loans being advertised, but maybe you've thought to yourself, yeah, that sounds wonderful, but I probably don't qualify, so I'm not even going to listen. Well, listen here. Wake up. It is time to pick up the phone and call IntelliLoan, because check this out. Even if you are self-employed, or maybe you just have, okay credit, whatever it is, IntelliLoan can help you get that great home loan that you've been hearing about. Right now, IntelliLoan is offering a 1.99% APR with no points or lender fees. This is even if your credit score is a 620. Again, it's a 1.99% APR with no points or lender fees, and this is even if you just have okay credit, a score of 620. But you've got to call IntelliLoan before the rates go up. So call them at 1-800-918-6200. That's 1-800-918-6200, or just go to IntelliLoan.com.
Rates subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount requirements apply. 60% loan to value and 620 FICO credit score. Certain restrictions apply. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lenders Law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Everyone is sweating out the summer right now. High temperatures, no relief in sight. Oh, wait, except for me. I switched to SolarMax years ago.
How much have you saved since you switched?
Thousands, probably. Let's just say my energy bills are so low now, I am no longer the thermostat warrior in my house. My air conditioning is almost free.
SolarMax is where you want to go because SolarMax does everything themselves right here in Southern California, which means exceptional quality control and no middleman.
That's right. You can get a SolarMax system for only $69.98 a month. And that includes a solar panel system and a home battery with an APR as low as 0.99%.
This offer expires July 31st. You even named your solar panels.
I did. They've each got individual little names, like Akbar and Dylan and Barbara. Call pound 250 from your cell phone. Say the keyword SolarMax. That's pound 250, keyword SolarMax. Or go to SolarMaxTech.com, SolarMaxTech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credits. You guess the big number 9720 for you.
Enjoy a powerful business upgrade with Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event. Get amazing savings with up to 50% off high-performance computers and tech built for business, and be able to take your office with you with Windows 10 Pro. Plus, get great offers on Dell servers, monitors, docks, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. And speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is, you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell is here to help. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has been there to guide men through all aspects of divorce. And we'll be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's California area attorneys. 1455 Crazy Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com. When it comes to keeping you safe, Bay Alarm brings the best. Family-owned and celebrating 75 years of professional personal service that's second to none. Bay Alarm, celebrating our past, securing your future.
AC028 TCL 880138. Hi, I'm Miguel Cardona, U.S. Secretary of Education and proud father of two. This summer is so important to help young people reconnect with friends, peers, and educators after such a difficult year. It's time for students to rediscover the joy of learning, brush up on their skills in reading, STEM, athletics, and the arts. There's no better way to ensure they'll be ready to return to the classrooms this fall. Visit discoversummer.org to find nearby summer programs and resources to keep kids safe, healthy, and learning.
This message is brought to you by the National Summer Learning Association.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
Homeschooling is no joke. It is hours a day. You have to follow the California syllabus. Not just, here you go, let's start watching National Geographic. And then the reality is, who wants to stay with their kids that long anyway? Who would ever want to do that?
Bill Handel.
Clearly, you would have not been the homeschool teacher in your family.
That is correct.
Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
We are just about 15 minutes, T-minus 15 it looks like right now, waiting for Jeff Bezos and the New Shepard suborbital capsule and rocket system to head into space. This is Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. He's there inside the capsule now. So they went up the launch tower. They had a little photo op before they went up. They got all into it. Now, if you can imagine, they're in a capsule that is sitting on top of a rocket. And inside this capsule, you can peek inside and you can see them all. And the two that you can see from the side that CNN is showing mostly this morning are Wally Funk, the 82-year-old woman who's going up. She will be the oldest person to go into space. And then Jeff Bezos is sort of behind her. And it looks like they have taped some sort of message to Wally Funk's window. Kind of looks like a 4x6 card that you might write some notes on, something like that, has been taped to her window. Now, the way that they are seated, they are strapped into their seats, but imagine when you're sitting in your car and you're in the bucket seat of a car, right? And you can lean it back like you're taking a nap on a trip, but you keep your seatbelt across you. That's kind of what it looks like this morning. They're all in blue, appropriately, Blue Origin spacesuits, and the reason why Jeff Bezos said, nah, we just need these flight suits, he says when the cabin's pressurized, it's redundant. We don't need to use spacesuits, so we're going to be just like this. So he was kind of demonstrating yesterday, they are just those blue flight suits that you've seen them all in the promotional shots and that sort of thing. They're just sort of a light flight suit, which makes sense. I know that NASA did test maybe not doing the full-on astronaut suits and that sort of thing for a while there. I know it reconsidered, though. But at this point, they're just going to be in those suits. They are strapped in. They are ready to go. The weather looks beautiful. Blue skies, just some puffy clouds out in the distance. And they were at Launch Site 1 in Texas. And I'm going to go ahead and take you to CNN because we want to go ahead and cover this stem to stern as they take off. You can see some smoke now coming out of, there's a large hose that is attached to the rocket, and you've got some smoke kind of coming out of that now. You can see that things are getting underway, and I just want to take you there so you can live right through it with me. It's KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles. Here is coverage of Blue Origin Launch Site 1 heading from Texas into space.
It's not a very long time in terms of what might be possible if we can deal with climate change and the other pressing issues
and
here on
this
Earth.
is Anderson Cooper, who is narrating right now.
Computer in your pocket, which we all have,
And he's got with him a scientist.
When you look at some of the technology used...
While the two of them chat, let me give you some more of the particulars this morning. So it was 45 minutes before that we saw the astronauts leave Blue Origin's astronaut training center, and it was exactly what I thought a Jeff Bezos production might look like. So we went from just a regular old camera that you might see from your, local news station when they're covering a story, right? And there's the reporter on the scene, and they're pointing to the back, hey, there's Jeff Bezos behind me, and they're getting in a truck and that sort of thing, to an overhead shot that suddenly changes the speed of the film, and we go into movie mode. Then you follow in a helicopter behind Jeff Bezos and his crew, who are in a blue SUV with cop lights streaming across the front, going down this long stretch of road to the launch pad. And they get to the launch pad, and there's a line, a white line, that this blue SUV drives up to. They hit that launch pad line, they get out of the car, they all go over to the front of the launch pad with the Blue Origin rocket behind them, and they start the photo ops. Everybody knows exactly where they're supposed to be. Everybody does the 3, 2, 1 shot from the front with the thing behind them. Then they all turn around in a row, the 4 of them, and the 2 on the side throw their arms up like, hey, look, there it is, with their fingers pointed. And the 2 in the middle have this sort of head-cocked look like, wow, we're looking at where we're going. It was, I don't mean to make light of it, but it was very staged. It was a little ridiculous. At least for us to see that portion, you're seeing the sausage made. And it was a little silly, but, whatever. They're going into space. Who am I to judge? Then they all got back in the SUV, and they drove them around to the back side of the launch pad, and that is where you had them climb up the launch tower before they got into the capsule. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do this. I'm calling an audible here. Let's get you some traffic. Let's do that. Throw in a couple of spots because we are still T-minus 12. So it might be a little premature to go to this now. It seems like the CNN clock and the Blue Origin clock don't quite mesh. So since we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and get you some of the information that you need. It's KFI and KOSTHD2 Los Angeles. Hi, Jeff Fogg. Good morning. What's going on the 405?
Good morning. Well, all is well. Well, I tell you, no film crew for us when we lift off every morning at the airport. But things are good, really. Nothing to warn you about. As a matter of fact, most of the San Fernando Valley is looking good. We're just taking a right-hand turn here off the 134 down the 5. What I want to warn you about is quite a problem on the southbound Santa Ana freeway now going to Downey. Lakewood Rosemead, before you get down there, a couple lanes are blocked. There's a fire off the freeway. We're going to scoot down there. I think, the weather allows to get down there. More on that coming up. But I can tell you this, the backup is coming away from the 710. Use Telegraph. Telegraph right alongside that southbound 5. Get you all the way down to the 605. No problem at all. Don't go away. A lot more coming up this morning. Is it an accident? Visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, AFI in the sky.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's proven real estate development fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized and bonuses to 21% targeted. We strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every month supporting your investment. Our short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns today and major upside targets. Our buildings are socially responsible, environmentally friendly, and pandemic hardened. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Hey, it's Gary Hoffman. Let's talk about your Medicare coverage. Scan Health Plan is for people with Medicare. Now more than ever, it's important to have comprehensive coverage when you need it most. If you're new to Medicare, have both Medicare and Medi-Cal, or have been diagnosed with certain chronic conditions, you may qualify to enroll in Scan Now. Call Scan at 1-855-370-7226. TTY 711, or ask your agent about Scan.
Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
SoCal weather from KFI. We've got another warm one today. Temperatures at the beaches will be in the 70s. We'll be in the 80s again for Metro LA and OC. Upper 90s to the low 100s, so maybe a little bit warmer today in the valleys and the IE. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the News with Wayne starts now.
Handle on the News.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's the Bill Handel Show. There is a new update about Bill's status on my Twitter at Come On and Farce. I talked to him yesterday. We are waiting for this Blue Origin launch. T-minus, oh, I can't believe I have to, never mind, thank God, they made it bigger. T-minus 8 minutes, 16 seconds. And this is what happens when you need glasses sometimes, but not always. Anyway, so it's a go. There has not been any discussion of anything that would require scrapping this mission at this time. They have gone through the highly choreographed, impressively put together pre-launch publicity and photo op gauntlet. And boy, they better pull it off after all that pomp and circumstance up front. They better pull it off, because otherwise it's going to be extra embarrassing. What I would do is I wouldn't do anything before. I would just do the one, and then if it's successful, then I'd have a plan for all of the pomp and circumstance and the glad handing and the photo ops, right? But that's fine. Hey, Jeff Bezos, he just wants to clean up the planet.
And fulfill a childhood dream while he's at it.
Of course. So, we'll do some handle on the news while we wait for the launch to come. Good morning, Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Hi, good morning.
And we have Tyler Whitman running the board this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Over on a computer doing something highly important and probably top secret, John Ramirez.
Good morning, Wayne.
And mocking John Ramirez while eating a banana, Alex Razzo.
Morning, Wayne.
What a bunch of weirdos on this show. Hey, I need the, I think, unless it is here somewhere, I need the thing about the charitable good
I gotcha.
doing.
I gotcha.
No, I don't need to read it now.
Oh.
I just need the piece of paper so that the moment my little heart decides to tell the people about this great thing that iHeart Los Angeles is doing in conjunction with some grocery stores, that I can do it. I don't want any barriers between me and the sweet feeling of telling people about a good thing. That almost sounds like a condom ad. No barriers between me and the sweet feeling. Oh, don't act so.
I had not gone there. Normally I would. It's early.
You're off your game.
I'm watching a rocket. I know. Okay, there.
Handle on.
Did everybody go there with me? There we go. Okay.
Handle on. Let's do it. Handle on the news. Lead story, which is T-minus 5.5 minutes. Jeff Bezos is going to go to space on Blue Origin's first flight with people on board. He will be the second billionaire to go into space. He will be the second billionaire to go into space on a craft that he owns.
It's good to be a billionaire.
I have never, ever heard any billionaire complaining about whatever the downsides are to being a billionaire. Never heard it. I don't know if they have a private club where they get together and they go, oh, you know what sucks about being a billionaire?
this, that, and the other thing. And also, I bet if we all put our head together, we could not come up with a list of 3 things that suck about being a billionaire.
No.
So in any event, it's him, his brother, the 18-year-old kid from the Netherlands who apparently was gifted by his dad?
Yeah.
His rich dad.
Yes.
Yeah, gifted him the spot. We don't know how much they paid after the anonymous guy who paid $28 million had to reschedule. Because when you have that level of wealth, there literally are things that will come up that are more important than going into space. And, of course, Wally Funk, the fantastic Mercury 13 person, FAA investigator, National Transportation Safety Board investigator, and test pilot. Now, is there anything we want to bring up right now in terms of chatter that's going on now that they're getting within a couple of minutes here of this launch?
Well, a couple of things I want to ask. They put like a 4x6 card in Wally Funk's window, a white card. Is that in notes? Is that, what was it? She was the only one that they put something in, and I haven't seen anything come up yet on the internet about what that was or what that is. But it looks like a place where if you know when you've left on a plane before and you've stuck a note in the window so that the people when you're leaving can see you say bye or whatever, hey Dad, I'm in this seat. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like she did. And then there are 3 notes that also look sort of like 4x6 cards right on the handle of the shaft as they get into the actual capsule itself. So I'm wondering what those signs, it almost says, to me, if you look at it, it looks like there are arrows, and I almost feel like it says open here. Or
could be a watch your head.
It's seriously, it looks like something like that. But let's take you to the launch site now. West Texas, this is the New Shepard rocket. Just minutes away from blasting into space with Jeff Bezos, his brother Wally Funk, and Oliver Damon will be the youngest person ever into space.
The rest of my life. And so I think the real...
This is retired... that's retired Colonel Chris Hadfield, right?
Yeah, former commander of the International Space Station.
What's going on around you, the difference of weightlessness, and that amazing new view of the Earth out the window. You've got to be a sponge, a human sponge, absorbing the magic of the experience.
Miles O'Brien, we are 2 minutes from launch.
This whole flight's going to take 11 minutes.
I love Chris Hadfield and the gorilla analogy. That's good stuff. That's darn near poetry. This is an important moment. It's a milestone moment. And, Anderson, when you think about the big picture here, we all know that we have a finite time for this solar system. We're talking billions of years, but it is a finite thing. And going back to what Michio was saying about the dinosaurs, they didn't know they were headed for extinction. We know we're headed for extinction, one way or another. We might do it to ourselves sooner. And the idea of becoming multi-planet and ultimately multi-solar system is about keeping humanity alive. And this is a small step along the way, but an important one.
Way to make it grim.
I was going to say,
and of course, it's on the anniversary of the day that man first landed on the moon. This last minute, let's just watch and let's just listen and experience this launch.
Why is somebody installing hardwood floors over there right now?
Does sound like a nail gun.
It's hard to get a perfect sense of scale, but it seems like that capsule is really small.
Compared to the rocket itself, yes. Absolutely.
But the capsule is like a large camping tent size.
With 4 seats inside, and like I said earlier, like bucket seats in a car.
Right.
And they look like they're laid back in sort of that napping position that you take on a long trip.
Mm-hmm.
And they're belted in that way. The sounds that you were hearing, we're starting to see some, looks like maybe condensation or something fall around where there's sort of a tube that goes into the rocket. Here we go.
7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1.
And they're up.
They are up. It is hurtling towards the sky.
a 66-mile ride that they're taking. It is 11 minutes total, and 4 minutes of that they will experience weightlessness. They will be able to see the curvature of the Earth.
Is that is it 4 minutes the amount of time they'll be above the Kármán line, technically in
technically
space?
in space.
Yeah.
At least that's the plan.
And then the capsule will come back down and land.
Yes. And at this point, I don't think you can see the rocket stream quite as much.
No, it is. It might be. It might be the atmosphere. It might be the camera angle, or it might just be the main thrust has been expended.
They are now in space. I'm sorry. They have now been up for almost 2 minutes. We are just at that T plus 2 exactly minute mark.
And do you have an altitude
Yes.
that you can make?
Altitude 140,000, 150,000 feet, and they are going 2,217 miles an hour. I had not seen.
And there's a shot from the rocket looking down towards Earth.
It very much feels like some of the NASA pictures that you've seen, looking down on the Earth's atmosphere.
If you took what you see, like if you just take a regular plane flight, when you hit cruising altitude and you look down, take that, but it's, times 10.
The booster is about to separate from the capsule at any moment.
So they're also tracking the G's. I guess they're at 0 G's right now.
228,000 feet.
They just hit 300,000.
And then at 3 minutes from launch, which is very shortly, weightlessness, they'll begin to experience zero gravity and they can float around.
Look out the window.
Someone in the background saying, "Don't forget to look out the window."
Watching this as well is Colonel Chris Hadfield. Colonel, as you watch this, what do you think?
I love flying rockets, but I feel so helpless watching rockets. I can't do anything to help those guys. But it looks like the rocket has done its job. That hydrogen-oxygen engine, reusable, throttleable, and yet it got them to the edge of space. Now they're already up there in space. I just want to make sure all the mechanical things work properly so that the crew on board can truly experience the amazing sequence of events they're going through right now. So there's still a lot of systems have to work, but so far so good.
Hey, Colonel, let's listen to the astronauts are speaking.
Again, this is Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin founder as well, his brother Mark, Wally Funk, and Oliver Damon.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
The 1 minute warning is telling them that they have 1 more minute left of weightlessness. Then they have to get back into their seats, buckle in, because they're going to start to fall back to Earth. And they're going to pick up speed very, very quickly, 5.5 Gs on the way down at one point. There's 3 parachutes that will be deployed, ultimately slowing down the capsule.
We're seeing more shots of the Earth now.
It's mostly, that seems like it's mostly clouds.
Yeah.
That we're seeing.
I think that was Wally Funk in the background who yelled, "It's dark up here."
Did you notice that they were going like over 2,000 miles an hour?
Yeah.
And then as they crossed that line, they slowed down to at one point they were going like 35 miles an hour, and of course now they're coming up on 2,500 miles per hour, and they're obviously descending.
Copy, astronaut demo. Copy, astronaut
They're
demo.
down to 60,000 feet.
That's the booster altitude.
50. This is going to happen imminently.
To the 4 passengers on board. They're now strapped back into their seats, and they're now descending back to Earth. The booster rocket is also descending to Earth. It is going to be... It should actually land shortly in a vertical position so that it can be reused for future launches, as well as the capsule
It's just 10,000 feet now.
will be able to be reused. What was that?
Was that a sonic boom? Yeah.
So, Anderson, what we just heard was a sonic boom from the booster landing back here on the landing pad just 2 miles.